Thank God, you're awake. I was afraid I'd have to wait a lot longer. I wouldn't bother trying to struggle if I were you. You see, I've restrained you with strong chains. Cast iron. As you are, well, you know who you are. Anything else would be useless. Ropes are easy to break out of, normal metal chains, you break them like toothpicks. Cast iron, that's a different story. It's stronger. I would say I was sorry for bringing you here, but that would be a lie, because you see I'm not. I do apologise for the blindfold though, but adds a bit more tension, don't you think? You see, I brought you here because people like me can't stand people like you. What? Haven't figured it out yet? I pity that. Usually you can spot and sense people like me in a heartbeat. But then again, maybe your bloodlust overwhelmed your common sense to spotting a hunter. That's right, sweetheart. Have been for quite some time, I have to say. I've hunted so many vampires, it's unreal, but you see, the thing is with those ones from before is some of them were humane, some of them need to be put to death in the old days, and some went into hiding so they wouldn't be found. Thing is though, you are the first creature I've actually brought here. Why? That's actually a good question. I don't think the answer may shock you. You see, out of all the vampires I've ever hunted, you are the only one to not only drain his victim more than once, but actually try to frame them for a murder/suicide. Oh, I think you do know what I'm talking about. You see, there was this thing in the paper, not sure whether it was about a boy or a girl, who apparently thought they were attacked by a vampire. Everyone thought they were crazy, so they hospitalised them, drugged them, told them they must have badly hit their head after being run over, and imagined the whole thing. Then, a short while later, that person vanished. But they found them a few weeks later in a couple's house. You see, this person apparently went ballistic, couldn't handle the nightmares, and killed an innocent couple, and then killed themselves by slitting their throat and wrists with a razor blade. But the thing is, I knew better. Hell, I was a crime scene investigator at the time, and I could smell a vampire's handiwork. I also knew, as I have a good knowledge of medicines, is that the drugs that this person was given to cope with their problems makes you weak most of the day. So how could someone on those drugs possibly break into a house, overpower a couple, kill them both, and then drag them upstairs before ending their own life? Answer: they can't. So I asked a few friends to exhume the victim's body for chemicals, because I believed there was more to this murder-suicide that met the eye. And you know what? They found out I was right. Not only did they find another drug in that person's system, but there was no trace of it anywhere else. Not in their possession, not in their couple's home, not in their own home. Nowhere. Which means the person was drugged and framed. Not to mention that they found a faint trace of chain and rope burns around the victim's wrist, meaning the person was brought to that house as a fucking hostage. You see, you thought you could make that person seem like nothing but a nutcase who believed in vampires and killed innocent people and themselves because they couldn't cope. But I proved you wrong. It may have taken almost 6 months to gather the evidence, but I proved this person you tried to frame was innocent. Of course, there's still that rumour they were crazy because of the vampire thing. But at least I proved they weren't a killer. After that, it took 6 more months or so to trace you. And when I saw you, I just knew you were the one I wanted. The heartless creature who tried so hard to make a human being seem like the monster you are. Well, after I found you, I needed to make sure you found me. Reason for that is if I tried anything too obvious, like approach you directly, you probably would have killed me. If that would have happened, you would have had a chance to suffer. Creatures like you need to have your guard down. So I kept a good distance, and when I knew the time was right, I let you find me. You see, the club you were in is where you found me, in case you didn't remember. I actually managed to convince you that you were the prowler watching and choosing me as your victim. Using air quotes, by the way. I know you can't see them. You came up to me, we chatted, and then when you thought I wasn't looking, you slipped something in my drink. Luckily, I drank the antidote moments before you tapped me on the shoulder, which was really risky. You could have used another drug for all I knew. Luckily, you didn't. And when I knew you weren't looking, I slipped something in your drink, something a lot stronger. I played the part of the dizzy, too much to drink girl, and while you carried me outside, your drugs kicked in. Now, I'll be honest, I had some help. Hunt doesn't have super strength, so I asked my brother to carry you here, help me chain you up, although it was under the condition that he had a hand in ending your life. Now see, you're trying to struggle again. I guess that means you do know who I'm talking about now. The funny thing is, even though you've drained others, and God knows I tried to save them, but I couldn't, that person was the only one you seemed to hate so much for an unknown reason. Anyway, back to ending your life. You see, as you know, your kind isn't easy to kill. I mean, there are so many myths and legends about vampires, but a lot of them aren't true, are they? Can't go out in sunlight, urban legend, hates garlic, complete BS, wouldn't stake through the heart, created by old filmmakers, always have fangs, Halloween gimmick, their bodies glow only on twilight. As a hunter, I know what it is. When I first heard, I didn't believe. I thought it was another myth, but it's true. And that is a silver blade through the chest. Doesn't sound like a silver blade, but trust me, it is. But I want you to suffer a little more before I do this. I mean, another drug I gave you means you were out for quite a few days, so you're probably starving and craving it right now. Cutting a vampire off is one of my favourite methods of torture. Second, well, I know you can't see, but you can sense. Actually stings, but looking at your face right now makes it worth it. Can you smell my blood? It pouring off my arm. It's amazing, isn't it? How craving can make you crazy. Apologies for my blood dripping on the paper. But you see, I guess you were already crazy, so I guess it made no difference. But as I said, I'm gonna leave now. Maybe drop a bit more blood on the floor as I leave to increase your cravings. I'm gonna starve you for a few more days, and then I'm gonna have my brother come in. Now, I'm not sure what he'll do. He might use my knife and stab you through your soulless little heart. He might use another method, like rip your head off or rip your heart out with his bare hands. Hard to tell. You see, with me and him, we may be family, but we have different kinds of methods when it comes to killing vampires. I like to play with them for a little bit, whereas my brother prefers to be quick and gruesome. Whatever he chooses, I promise you won't like it. Well, I suppose I should go. I mean, these papers here with your other friends on it won't solve itself and won't file itself. See you on the other side.